In today's episode, I interview Burcu Erten, the founder of Joyy Marketing and Coaching. Burcu shares her journey of leaving her corporate job in HR to start her own business and become a motivational speaker. She emphasizes the importance of finding your authentic self and owning it, as well as the power of connecting with your ideal client. She also provides strategies for building self-confidence and defining your brand voice. Overall, this conversation has great highlights, and we talk about the importance of staying true to yourself and your purpose in entrepreneurship. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Accidental CEO podcast, where we bridge the gap between the creativity you love and the CEO mindset you need. I'm your host, Nata Salvatori, wedding photographer and business educator. Find full show notes and resources at accidentalceopod.com. Let's get into today's episode. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Accidental CEO podcast. I have a very special guest with us today that is all the way on the other side of the world. I'm going to let her introduce herself because I would not dare to say her name. I will probably not say it correctly. She's going to tell us what she does and all the good things. So welcome.
Thank you, Nata, for having me. I don't know if I say your name correctly, so apologies if not. My name is
good. We are going to go back and forth today.
That's good. My name is Burcu Onaranel Erten, and I am the founder of Joyy Marketing and Coaching with 2 Y's. I'll tell you why in a second. I'm an international motivational speaker and NLP master practitioner. I'm so glad to be here. Let's dive in.
Perfect. Well, tell us where are you right now?
I am in Hungary, 3 hour by train close to Budapest, but I'm not in Budapest.
So close. I heard the other day that you travel a lot just to go do some speaking engagements. You will just hop on a train and travel for a good 3 hours just to go share some of your knowledge.
Yes, I love training. I love traveling and I love speaking. So when both comes together, I don't mind traveling 6 hours per day to just deliver a speech, because I believe the power of sharing our message to the people. We need to do what we are meant to do in this life. So we have to leave our comfort zone to do something good in this world. That's the reason.
And you lived in the United States for a few years? Tell me about that.
Yes, I am originally from Turkey, and I was born and raised in Turkey and had a corporate job in HR for about 3 years. And then I realized that I don't want to do that anymore, and I wanted to do something big, explore the world and learn English, launch my own business and reach more people in the world. So I moved to the United States in 2016 and stayed there for 4 years. With the pandemic, I decided to move back to Turkey. And in a year, I met the love of my life and got married and moved to Hungary. So I'm traveling again.
There you go. Where were you in the United States?
In California.
Straight into the dreamland.
Yes, best place to live in the world so far. The places that I visited and lived, that's the conclusion for me right now. So I want to go back. We'll see.
What made you go back home? What was the determining factor that made you go back?
I was homesick for the first time in my life when the COVID hit, everything shut down. And as a consultant and entrepreneur, it was not an easy process to stay in California. You probably know how expensive it is.
Yeah.
And I was in that mood of, do I stay? Do I just take a break and go back home and come back? But the world, nobody knew what was coming. And I just decided to just pause my American dream and go back to Turkey and still continue what I do. I still have my company existing in California. So I'm still there. Joyy is still there, but myself physically in different part of the world. So I wanted to be with my parents, and I was sick on top of that. So I think that's the weakness of living abroad. When you're sick, it's my personal experience. When I am sick and there's no one from my blood next to me, it just makes me feel very lonely and sad. And imagine, like, you're sick, world is shut down, and there's no flight that you can go back, and they cannot come. So it's like I was stuck in that cage in a room, sick and not knowing what's gonna come. So I decided to jump on a salvation flight, which was another story, to go
Oh,
back. And yeah, so I just made that decision, sold everything that I owned, and threw my belongings away. And yeah, I had to throw away my shoes and bags. You can understand me better in the audience who are women, how hard it is to
wow.
trash that, because all the places were closed, so I couldn't donate. I didn't know if I was going to come back, so I had to just go, and I couldn't pack everything, of course. That's the story.
I definitely understand that. When I came to the US, I had to pack everything that I had in 2 suitcases.
Yeah.
That's all. You had to choose what you can take with you, and your whole life is in these 2 medium-sized suitcases, and you gotta start your life from that. Definitely understand not having family around when you're not when you're sick and not feeling good. So I hear you. Tell us a little bit of the story of what happened. How did you decide to move out of corporate when you're working on HR? What made this? What helped you with the decision of trying to start your own business, and just a little bit of the feelings of that time? Was it scary? Like, tell me how you went through that process of making that decision and then taking the first step.
I'm gonna share NLP, neuro linguistic programming, which is the power of finding what you want in this life. Of course, I didn't know what the NLP was at that time. I was just stuck in a routine. I was going to my corporate job and doing things that didn't bring me joy. I wasn't me, first of all. I was hitting these social norms or corporate frames when I wanted to do something or create something. I was always a person who wanted to bring the joy to the environment, motivate people, speak, inspire, but under the corporate umbrella, it's not possible to do what you want to do. There are rules, there are things that you need to meet. And in my culture in Turkey, unfortunately, there are certain social frames that you need to meet as a woman. And I was feeling stuck in everything. I was 24 years old. I didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't want to. I was a career driven person. But based on society, when you finish university, people expect you to get a job. When you get a job, people want to hear, okay, now you're going to get married, right? And I'm like, nope. I want to do something else. I don't want it. So, feeling all those things, I started searching what's missing in my life, because I had this brilliant life for so many people. I had this great job in an international company. I had a car. I had family. I had friends, but I was not happy. So I was thinking, like, something should be wrong about me. But that was the wrong question that I was asking myself. Maybe some of your audience, maybe yourself, asking wrong questions sometimes. We all do. We all ask sometimes, okay, why am I this way? But actually, there's something missing, and you need to find what that is. And in that case, I found NLP, and NLP is a tool, greatest tool that has been invested probably in this world, that it can help you to understand why you do what you do, and what's your biggest value in this life, what you're meant to do, what's your purpose. So with those trainings, I learned hypnosis, professional life coaching, motivational life coaching, and all the NLP tools that help me to dive what I want to do in this life. And I finally found, and that was to launch my own business, be a speaker, speak, inspire, coaching to people, and just create something authentic for people and help them to change their life. So that's how I found my own purpose and made my way to the US. But I didn't speak English in 2016, didn't know anyone, didn't have a job. I just had this crystal clear goal in front of me with the neurolinguistic programming tools that they helped me to find. So I just packed my belongings, like you said, in suitcases and bought my ticket and flew to the Los Angeles.
Very cool. So a lot of strength and courage on that journey. When most of our listeners, a lot of times are just scared to leave their job and start their own business. They're not even going to a new country with a language that they don't know. So it's pretty amazing to hear the story of somebody that has done that. That's very similar to my story. So definitely relate and understand. But it's just taking, I hope that this gives everybody a little bit of motivation and courage to take that step to pursue their own business, their own career, if they do have that good, clear vision, like you said. Take your time to really understand what you want to do so you feel more prepared to take that first step. So, very good. Thanks for sharing that with us.
And I love this saying that I learned from my American friends. When there's a will, there's a way. I love
Yes.
that. When you really want something, there's a way always, and there's always supporters along the way. So you'll just do fine. I'm not telling like quit your job today and move to Mexico tomorrow. Just research on what you really want to do, understand yourself, and then start finding the hints and the paths that you can take and just start doing it. You only have one life. There's no second that has been promised for us. So I believe we have to live it.
So, you knew you want to be a speaker, you knew you wanted to share your experience. What was the process of finding what you wanted to share about, what was the message that you were going to be sharing with people as a speaker and as a coach?
My struggle. I struggled to be me and own who I am because I had these social norms that I explained. I wasn't me, and when I started my journey, I was not as courageous as I sound or I look right now. I was very scared and I was shy. I even remember at my university times or high school, I couldn't even raise my hand if I knew the answer of the question. My face would turn into red. I couldn't speak. I was just so kind of a ghost. I wanted to disappear if someone called me to go on stage and do something. And right now I am doing this public speaking everywhere. I'm in front of camera all the time. So I share my change, my transformation in finding our authentic voice, our authentic self, and really owning it, whatever the circumstances you have in your job or in your relationship or in society you live in. Sometimes people judge us all the time, not sometimes, all the time. But you have to really stand strong and really believe in yourself, have the confidence. That's what I share with my clients, either their entrepreneurship journey or their life journey to create better relationships or better life.
Take us to, since we're talking about this, take us through the process of discovering your authentic self. What does that look like?
It is a very hard road to take. You have to understand yourself first, and to be able to do that, you really have to spend some time with yourself and understand your feelings, really feel every feeling. We tend to escape from the feelings we don't want to feel. Like, we don't want to feel sad, we don't want to feel disappointed, we don't want to feel discouraged. That's why we don't take those steps towards our goals, because we are afraid that we will be judged or we will fail in those goals. So you will fail You will be laughed by other people. People will tell you you're not going to make it. You are just, too young to do it, or too unexperienced to do it. Lots of things, lots of excuses, lots of negative stories you can hear from people around you. It's okay. As long as you really know what you want and have this focus, you will find your way. And I don't know your listeners or yourself, but I believe in spirituality and energy. You will be guided along the way. You will meet the right people. You will have the right angels beside you, and you will just make it. So for you to be able to find your authentic self, of course, it's not going to be like in 5 minutes podcast episode that I can tell you how to find it. But the key is you have to spend time with you and know what you like, what you love, and what you don't like, and really put your foot to another one step at a time and try things that scares you. That's the key. When you find something that scares you, you need to do that, because that's how you will find your other version, your authentic, your true version. You will meet the strongest version of yourself or the weakest version of yourself. But in both scenarios, you will know who you are. And then your next step will be better, because now you know what you can do or you can't do.
So, really spending some time trying to understand yourself, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, challenging yourself to grow, doing the things that are scary, and then analyzing and learning from those experiences, and starting to form a more clear vision of what you want, of who you are, and how to move forward from there.
Exactly.
Today's episode is sponsored by Accidental CEO. Hello there, my CEOs. I'm Nata Salvatori, founder of Accidental CEO, an education and coaching platform where we believe every surprise in your career is a step towards greatness. Whether you found yourself unexpectedly in charge or you're actively seeking to climb the leadership ladder, we are here to guide you. I specialize in transforming emergent leaders like you into confident CEOs through target education and personalized coaching. With Accidental CEO, you gain access to exclusive workshops, one-on-one coaching, and a suite of online courses designed to hone your skills, refine your strategies, and amplify your business powers. My approach is tailored to fit your unique journey. I understand the twists and turns of becoming a CEO, especially when it's unexpected. That's why my programs are flexible, comprehensive, and driven by real-world success experiences. Don't just take the lead, master it. Our supportive community is here to ensure you emerge as a visionary leader, equipped to navigate any challenges and seize all opportunities. Visit us today at accidentalceo.co to learn more about how we can help transform your accidental position into a deliberate and successful leadership legacy. Accidental CEO, where you learn to lead not by chance, but by choice. So tell us, as a life coach, what are some of the main barriers that you help your clients with during their entrepreneurship?
Social norms and self-confidence, because even though they are entrepreneurs, as entrepreneurs, we have those social frames that we want to fit in ourselves. We compare ourselves to other entrepreneurs. If you're a coach, you compare yourself with other coaches or speakers, and then you try to find your own voice. But what you really need to do is you really need to listen to yourself and what makes you feel good. Like, for example, if I have a client, entrepreneur who is a speaker, let's say I have lots of speaker clients. So when you are posting something, let's say lots of social media platforms we have today, right? TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you feel like you need to be on all of them. I've had clients who tell me, okay, I need to be on this. Now I need to record a video. Now I need to write a blog. Now I need to do, and I say, what do you feel comfortable with? And this is not the comfort of comfort zone. This is the comfort with what makes you who you are when you do stuff. Like, do you like to be on camera? Do you like to write? Do you like to do both? Great. Or, but if, and in your business, that needs to make sense. If you are, let's say, a speaker and you are working with corporates, then maybe you need to take another look at if you want to have a TikTok account and grow it, because you need to really find where your audience hang out, or your clients. Are they at a coffee shop? Are they at a plaza? So you need to find what they like, and then you have to show up with what you like to meet the ideal people. You can't be everywhere. So that's what I do with my clients on the marketing side, branding side. And with my individual coaching clients, I challenge them to boost their self confidence. Sometimes they are too afraid to ask for a raise, or sometimes they are afraid to leave a relationship because it's comfortable for them and they don't want to feel lonely, but that's not their ideal partner, it's not their soulmate. So it's hard for them to do that. But when they do, then they will become somebody that they need to be in the first place. And then with that energy, they will attract the right partner. And the same as the entrepreneur clients, you need to be who you want to be and who you want to work with. You need to be that energy first to attract that. So I mostly work with people who believe in energy as well. So if you're not aligned with my energy, then we should probably not work together, because that's what I believe. That's how I lead my clients. That's how I reach success.
Right. Yeah, that 100% makes sense. Like being in the right place mentally, spiritually, professionally, personally, to really find your path makes a huge difference. Can you share with us one technique that you use with your clients to help with self-confidence? Maybe a very like tangible thing that you tell them to do, something that you tell them to practice.
Tangible thing. I can go with the same example, speaker example. Believe it or not, even if you're a speaker, most speakers are afraid to get in front of a different audience. So what I do then, challenge them again, if they are comfortable with small audience or just a place that they always know and they always go there and give speeches, I challenge them to get in front of different hard audience who can judge you. And I suggest them to be a member of speaking clubs like Toastmasters, that I'm a member of. It's an international speaking club, and they have different background of people that can give you great feedback so you can be better at your speaking and your communication in your relationship. So yeah, that's what I do. I leave them from their comfort zone and put them somewhere else that they can find a different version of them, because you cannot be in a safe place all the time. If you're a speaker, you need to be comfortable of getting in front of any kind of audience.
Is there anything that you share with them of something for them to do like every day? So is there like a routine that you teach them to help them to build that self-confidence? Because I understand the example of like challenging yourself and maybe, changing the audience if you're a speaker, but for somebody that is just wanting to be more confident in general, is that like a little bit of a daily routine or something that they can do at home that would help them to get to that?
Yes, exactly. Do what brings you joy. Do what uplifts your energy. When you feel good, then you will be the best version of yourself. You will have the confidence. And I always have the exercise I do. I guide my clients with meditation, but they can do by themselves too. Just visualize yourself when you were just so confident one time in the past, either in front of your work or with your spouse or whatever, whenever that is, just visualize yourself when you felt good and bring that feeling. And if you like to listen to music, that's what I do. Put a song that really uplifts your energy. Listen to that before you enter a meeting. It will change everything. Trust me. And don't talk to people who are negative about what you're doing or just put your energy down. That's also very important too. You have to be in a state where you are the best version of yourself,
Surrounding yourself with the right people, right?
which is hard too.
Yeah. Tell us, how does defining your authentic self help you define an authentic brand?
So this will be a cliche, but you are your brand. That's like the real thing. You are your brand, period. And there is this quote that I want to share by Maya Angelou. She says, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." So, for you to be able to make people feel in a way that you want them to feel, you need to feel, again, the same thing with the previous question. You have to feel good. You have to really own your authenticity, yourself. It doesn't have to be fancy or anything. Like, if you like coffee, then own it. Don't pretend that you like tea. Just own that you love coffee and you love it black, no sugar, no cream, whatever that is. It's just a metaphor that I'm using. Just own what you want, have your own decisions, and this will create your brand. Building a brand is like building or rebuilding your personality, especially if you're an entrepreneur. You are the face of your brand. Own it, and that's gonna create your own unique, authentic brand voice. That's how you will find your voice, and you don't have to find it at the beginning. If you're in the beginning of your entrepreneurship journey, you can find it along the way. You can collect all the things, the small brats like a Hansel and Gretel. You can find those things and meet your authentic version. Take your time.
Yeah, brands evolve. You don't have to have it all figured out in the beginning, for sure. Very good. So, what are some of the things that people should consider when they're looking for their brand voice? Is there something specific that they should be thinking about?
I have a great exercise that I use from time to time when I want to rebrand myself or just check in with my audience. It's a very fun exercise that anyone can do. I recommend you go ask your friends or colleagues this question: what are the 3 words you can say to describe me? Believe it or not, this will give you tons of clue that how people will see you, how they hear you, and how they feel when they have a conversation with you or work with you. And just create an Excel sheet or just write them on a paper and find what comes in common, what they say about you. 3 words. You will be surprised that so many people will say exactly the same words to describe you. And here's another tricky point. When you collect the results, look at them and see if that makes you feel good. Is it how you want to be seen, heard, and felt by other people? Or is it something that you need to change? Maybe you will be surprised from a person, oh, you look like a very arrogant person, but you're not, or you don't want to be seen that way. So find what the results are and then start working on it in both scenarios. Either you like them or don't like them, look at them and rebrand yourself, or look at yourself, how you talk, how you reach out people. Maybe you need to change some stuff, and just ask this the people that are true to you. That's also important, that are really supportive and loving to you and share the truth with you. Don't just say like what you want to hear, but really sharing the truth. Have a good observative eye.
Very good. So, what are a couple of strategies that people can use to connect with their ideal client when they're trying to find the people they're going to be serving? How can they do that?
This is very hard when you want money. It's hard for you to say no to people that you don't want to work with, because when you ask for clients, so many different backgrounded people can come across your way, but you have to know who you want to work with. So when you identify your brand, you need to identify your ideal clients. And when you want to work with them, you probably need to do sell without trying to sell. When you're yourself, you don't have to sell. Like when you have a client meeting or potential client meeting, let's say, don't feel like this type, I need to get this client, I need to have this, she is this great, I will have this. Don't put yourself in this energy. Put yourself in an energy, feel that you already have it. That's the tool to manifest something, but you have to feel you're already a professional. You have to feel you have the money coming. And when you're in that energy, I'm going to answer it with the energy again, because that's the reality. When you are feeling good and in that energy that matches with your client, the client will say immediately. And you never know where you get people, so you have to show up your best version in every meeting. Like, I'm going to share a story from my life. Like, I never knew I would get a longest client from a speaking club or a training that I attended. I had examples like when I attended a training, I had no idea that I was going to get a client from there. But because I was me and sharing what I know without trying to sell something, because when you are trying to sell desperately, it's irritating. Even they want to work with you or they like what you do, it's irritating when you are so urged to sell your products to someone or service. And as an entrepreneur, that's like a craving. We want to sell, but you have to stay cool, act cool, even if you're not, even if you don't have money in your bank account. You have to act like you have 6-figure of business. You have to show up in that way. That what attracts the right people. People can ask you, oh, can we work together? Can we have a virtual coffee chat? Can we talk about this? Then say, okay, without having any expectation from that call, but be ready when you receive a client. That's also another key. You need to be ready. Your packages needs to be ready. Your how you work needs to be ready, because if you are at the beginning of your journey or in a place where you don't have any clients, because that's the rule of being an entrepreneur. Sometimes you just live months or a year without having any clients, but you have to be ready when you receive a client. You have to be in a position where you still know what you do, you still educate yourself and learn new trends. And when the client comes in, you can start off working professionally like you want to do.
I really love all these tips. Great things for everybody to think through, take their time to really find their authentic self so they can start working on their brand. Where can people find you if they want to hear more about what you do and learn more from you?
I love Instagram and YouTube. So those are the two channels I picked up for my branding because I love speaking through the camera. And my Instagram is at JOYYBURCU. And my YouTube is my name and last name. I'm sure Nata will put under the
Yes,
episode.
we'll
So
have it in the show notes.
not necessarily tell you like one letter by letter. Yeah, and you can email it to me. It is burcu at joyyyburcu.com.
Perfect. You forgot to tell us why the 2 Ys.
Yes, I recognized while saying it. So it's joy, right? With just one Y, it's joy. The second Y is your why. As an entrepreneur, you have a company, you have a baby. I call it a baby. It's our baby, our company. We have this relationship. So it has your why. If you leave the corporate job 9 to 5 and create something new, you gotta have your why. And you have to remember it all the time. And joy is the most searchable word on Google. People seek joy. That's the highest vibration. So that's why I picked the joy. I have the necklace too. That was my nickname for years in the US because people couldn't say my name, so they just call me Joy. And so that's what the second why is. And there's an explanation mark at the end too, to just grab people's attention to the last why, because that's what I have seen for the past 7 years in my entrepreneurship journey. People forget why they start what they do. Please remember, please don't focus on just money. Yes, you have to make money, but you have to remember why you started your journey, why you do what you do, what makes you wake up every day. That will create the energy, and that energy will make the money flow to your way.
Very good. I love the 2 whys. Love that story. I'm glad we wrapped that up and brought that back at the end there before we say goodbye. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us today. We hope you have enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Accidental CEO podcast. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Accidental CEO podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us in the world where creativity and business strategy collide. I am Nata Salvatori, thrilled to have shared this time with you. Remember, every episode is a step closer to mastering the art of being an accidental CEO. So don't miss out. Hit subscribe, drop us a sweet review, and spread the word to your creative tribe. Your next big breakthrough could be just one episode away. Join us next time for more insights, laughs, and actionable tips. Keep pushing boundaries, dreaming big, and embracing the beautiful chaos of entrepreneurship. Here's to make magic happen in your business and beyond.